So let's just say I had reason to believe I'd be in the final match, which would involve the explosives. And when they took us out to the outfield before the fans came in, maybe around noon, they detonated the barbed wire boards. It's thought, it's supposed to look like you land on the boards and that causes the detonation. But actually, there's somebody up in the loge area, the munitions people. FMW used special effects people from the motion picture world. We used munitions people. So their stuff looked amazing, and clearly there's some fallout. But in this case, it looked as painful, absolutely as painful. It felt as painful as it looked. But when they detonated those explosives, it sounded like a howitzer going off, boom, and you could hear it echoing. And I just looked, and I think my voice rose about 3 octaves. I'm out there with Victor Quinones and Mr. Asano. I don't know who else was out there. And I said, there's no way. There's no way. And then Terry Funk says, oh, yeah, that looks good. But I think you ought to have another explosive right in the middle. Prior to that, there was one on each end. And I said,
right,
Terry, if we have explosives on each end and in the middle, where are we going to land? And he goes, oh, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I thought to myself, I don't think it's going to be fine. And the physical fallout as a result of that was evidence that my intuition was correct.
You wrote in your book that Terry smiled and said, no, Cactus, it'll be fine. Trust me, I did. And later wished I hadn't. This is that's what we're talking about. We're in the middle of a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
In the infield, there's 3 wrestling rings. As you look around, it is a dilapidated, old, abandoned-looking baseball stadium. It's very hot, and the promoter is going to show you a C4 demonstration on top of barbed wire boards.
Yes.
And I think back to your training and Mr. Danucci.
My boy, we're going to land in a barbed wire board. He made it clear, he knew I liked the wild stuff, and he spoke in parables, and he made it clear that if I wanted to create wild paragraphs on my own, that was up to him. But doggone it, we were going to learn the alphabet first, and we did. And then he was, he understood that I liked that, the crazy stuff, but as long as I had the mechanics down, the basics, so I could work with anybody. He was okay with that. But it is something you get to, you get a feel for as you go, and you make mistakes. And the great thing about the mistakes, Conrad, is if you make them, by God, they're right there on video. So, if you're going to make mistakes in wrestling or life, have a camera on.